There we go.
So that new add-on in OBS I've been hearing all about sounds to be pretty good, where you can have a lot of audio channel controls inside OBS instead of having to do those external audio tricks and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like it looks interesting.
There's a lot OBS can already do that. I don't know.
But this is like something that Windows 10 and Windows 11 and some Windows 10, excuse me, can do. It's like a brand new call and hook that they just put in.
Cool.
So I'm like, okay.
I have my computer's not compatible for Windows 11. My computer's old, and yeah. Alrighty. Let's see. Is there any way I can get free equipment? I don't know that there's anything left for free equipment. I mean, it could be a TPM module that I need. I do have a slot on my motherboard, but I don't know that, from my understanding, that's not always necessarily required. I don't know how, I mean, yeah.
My brain just died and lost track. What was about a TPM chip?
Armory was talking about TPM module chip is expensive too. I was like, I know there's ways to, I guess, get around it as a workaround. But like I know on my motherboard, I actually have like a multi-prong. I was like, I think it might be 8 connector, 8-prong connector that I could plug in a TPM module. When I had looked at the price of a TPM module, they weren't terrible, but that doesn't mean things haven't gotten silly.
Okay, again, my brain. Why are we talking about TPM modules?
Windows 11, my computer's not compatible.
Okay, that's okay. It's like what, huh? And I
Um,
think they removed that requirement, by the way.
yeah, I was like, that, or there's at least a way to make it that that's not the problem. My computer just might not be young enough, I guess would be a good way to put it, to be able to do all the stuff and things. I mean, my computer I put together, I don't even know how long ago. Let's see.
Mine's about 7 years old now.
To give you an idea, on age of my computer, I have a an i5 4690K. So it's a dated processor. It's not a bad processor, it's just dated.
Hold on, i5
4690. K just means it's unlocked for overclocking, though I think most of the 4690s were too. At the time, I couldn't afford an i7.
Mine, okay, where are you getting that data specifically? I'm in Device Manager, and mine just says i5 3330. So I'm guessing yours is better than mine.
Well, when I hit the window button, I then typed in system system information. There's an app that you can pull up quickly, and then on the system summary, it will tell you pretty much everything you want to know about your computer. OS version. Yeah.
All right, mine's i5 3330 at 3 gigahertz.
Yeah.
So nothing overly special, but I've been playing a lot of Oxygen Not Included, and I found because that game, in just the way that game has to play, it is single-threaded crazy, and it will have a lot of slowness and weirdness.
I overkilled it on RAM, but I also know some of the programs I run are very heavy RAM users, which is why I overkilled my RAM. I have 32 gigs of RAM.
I've got like 20, so it's like, yeah, not bad. You've got a better computer than me.
Reasons for failed automatic device encryption. TPM is not usable. Blah blah blah. PCR7 binding is not supported. Hardware security test interface failed, and device is not modern. Standby unallowed. Blah. Wow. All kinds of stuff in that one line. All right.
And here's the really stupid thing, is that 99.9% of Windows 10 is part of Windows 11.
Yeah.
And that little percentage is mostly rounded corners. I use the offensive there because it's like nobody wants rounded corners. They want to. You can make a system having a crazy configurable, everything, and make it look a certain way, and have a nice, stable, good internals. Oh wait, that was called Windows XP.
Yeah, well.
I'm of the opinion Windows XP was good. It was hammered on hard. It had very little bugs because it'd been hammered on so hard. So they'd been found and fixed. And there was really no need to upgrade from it. Everything would still be supported.
One could say the same for like Windows 7.
Yeah.
I mean, 7 was a good operating system. Yeah. Vista, it came out bad. Vista came out bad. It did get fixed to the point it was actually decent. But I mean, they basically rewrote the entire OS by that time. So I guess it was not shocking that, yeah. Alrighty.
Preferred opinion that you don't upgrade your operating systems and such unless there's a major change. Like, hey, this is a paradigm shift.
Well,
I think I used that word right.
Here's part of the thing. Microsoft, the way they used to do it, I don't know if they still do it this way. Used to know a guy that worked there, for a while. So I do have a little insider. But basically, the way they used to do it, all the way up until at least, I think, Vista, was they had 2 different teams that made the operating system. So when you had like Windows 95 team, then you had the Windows 97 team. Um, you know, two different teams, two different systems, or like when you, they ended up they reshuffled a lot of it from what he said when they just stopped doing NT, which they sort of baked into Windows.
Yeah,
Because
you had Windows 98, which was like the last DOS. Then you had Windows 2000, which was NT, but it was actually done very good. It was the dominant preferred operating system until Windows XP became hammered on.
yeah, it's that's why like with XP they did, I think, what I would say a good job with. And it was but if you would track the every other, so essentially one team would put out, let's say XP team puts out their build, and then they while the ME team is now working on the next operating system, Windows ME, because we all know we love that one.
Yeah.
And XP was king. Like, so once XP was out of development release, that team then moved to support and was patching bugs, blah blah blah. And then that's when the ME team took over. I mean, yeah, it's just I'm gonna have to run there. Ugh.
Yeah, it was. It's just. You've got, like Warcraft, you've got the flip flop. You got one good, one bad. One good, one bad.
Yeah. Well, basically, one team was really good and had one method of making their OS, or making the OS, and the other team, I guess, would be more questionable. Let's see. I was debating jumping down off a bridge to try to get a stupid transporter, but I'm not going to do it. I don't care. Anyone else hate New Romulus?
Should be account shared.
It's just New Romulus is such a pain. Run over here, talk to this transporter. Let the I'm gonna click on the flight path so that hey, now the pattern recognizes me, so I need to now go this way to the next one. I love Linux. I'll be honest, Armory. I always seem to have at least one system running Linux somewhere, somehow. Right now, it happens to be a Raspberry Pi, but I tend to always... I have a second computer I need to honestly get running again. It's... Though I have debated... Boy, this is a weird path. I don't know that I've ran this way in a long time. Normally I take, like, when I upgrade my computer, all my old computer stuff, I then set up with a Linux system, because I might as well take advantage of having a computer that is still running, functional, and I could use it for something else. The crater's on the...
I have a temptation that this computer here that I'm running on, when I eventually do buy a new computer, which is going to be a bit, honestly, because of life and all that, I'm thinking, okay, what can I do with it? Well, I mean, the only thing I would need another computer on is like doing a Minecraft server. And yeah, a Linux machine probably could do that and be pretty dang good. But it's also I don't do it often enough. Like I'll play and then get into it and like okay, I'm good for a bit. But it's like right now I haven't played Minecraft in like 5 months.
Yeah.
It'd be worth having. I've got a second computer, but I've started to stop using it.
Well, also another thought I had with like setting up a second computer, I do have a capture card, and I could easily put a capture card in the other system, and then my computer that I'm playing the game on for streams wouldn't have to be as burdened, and then I could maybe have less issue while streaming games and such.
I mean, that's a good idea.
It definitely makes my streaming setup more complicated. But do I have an environmental suit? I hope I do. If not, we're gonna find out.
One.
Oh, yeah, I do. I got one. I got the Solanae because I ran that Solanae mission that everyone got to watch me get stuck, and yeah.
I'm very...
Oh, right. Running this way. But yeah, I've used Linux for all kinds of stuff. It's simple to set up. It didn't used to be. We can thank a friend from college on helping me with learn about Linux. I don't know if you... So before there were such a thing as a what? Well, let's see. DSL modems. There was Dove boxes. Data over voice. They didn't go as far as a DSL line would let you. Yeah, we called them Dove boxes. It was just DOV. And it let us in our dorms back when before they installed network cables or like fiber to all the residence halls. We had to use the phone line to connect using the data over voice boxes. And so we had the friend in the room next door. We ran our phone line through the wall to his room. Well, did we run we ran one line through the wall, and then we ran one back. The one back was the network cable, and so I think we had the Dove box in our room, ran the network connection that it created through the wall to his Linux server that he set up. He connected it to their Dove box and our Dove box network connection to his Linux server, which then would handle all the data traffic and allowed us to be able to basically get twice the speed, because he had it so it was duplexing the connections. Essentially a router type, I guess, in a way.
Please
yeah.
Proceed with caution.
Proceed with caution. He's also the one that got me into playing Command & Conquer. We used to have all kinds of fun games. That was the nice thing about that, was like we had a network then between our computers, and so we could play Command & Conquer against each other. Back in the good old days. And then the following year, they installed all the networking into the dorm rooms. You just had to pay more money. But it did make it simple. You just had to plug in. Though they did not set up any kind of... The way they had it set up was very interesting. Because with the way the network was, didn't matter who everyone on in my residence hall. You could technically, if you knew how to look into the network, you could see every computer on the network.
Arp, arp, arp.
And then if someone shared files, you could see said shared files. It was interesting to see what people shared. Back then, I actually learned to, well, I set up a FTP server on my computer, and had a specific folder. That way, I didn't have to carry floppies back and forth to campus. I just had to FTP into my computer, and I could get access to my work in progress files for classes and stuff like that. And yeah. Because they also gave us an IP address, which I thought was a bit... Now I'm like going, boy, that seems a bit silly. Like you could have gone, I think, anywhere on. Like, you didn't have to be on the college campus to access the computers if you knew what you were doing. All these Tholians. Blowing them up. Oh no, I am held. What will I do? Here you go, take this beam. That's funny. Ah. Oh, apparently we're getting our butts kicked. That captain's no joke, yo. Oh. Turn that off before more of them come through. Okay, this is one of those missions. Don't access the cave until you turn in the mission. which you can do. Did I collect everything? Okay. Turn in this mission. I don't know what weapons are good. Disruptor wide beam pistol. Maybe? Now go back to New Romulus and pick up the next one because it wants me to be here anyway.
We've received another anonymous message. This time.
Oh yeah, that cave that you're in. Go
Yeah.
back and
Yeah. If you exit the cave and then come back, you have to clear it all over again. Because it's silly. Well, yeah, you tell them, kitty. Yeah, chittering.
She is cute.
Did I just complete? They don't make some of these episodes greatly. Visit conference with the Tan. So looks like it's time to actually leave.
Refresh me. What's the language rule for your broadcasting?
I tried not to swear.
Okay. I will be back. I've got to go tinkle.
Okay. I try to keep this family friendly-ish. I have been known to drop the F-bomb. You know. I've gotten better about that. All right, my connection's back. It looks like it's delayed the stream enough that let me reload just to make sure. All right, yeah, it looks like it's back to. Hey, attend the research. Yes.
I'm grateful for all you've
I
done
don't.
for our
I
colony.
honestly don't
We-
care. Do I have to go back to the caves now? Where am I going? Go to the underground ruins. All the way over here. Of course, because I didn't pick up that path yet. I'll have to do some running. Okay, which one's going to be quicker to run from? Let's look here in just a second. We can run from... Oh, it'll be from... Run from the ruins. and we want to head south. South. This is another reason why, like, I don't know. You don't make us run around in zones like other games do, like let's say World of Warcraft. Yet then you put in this map and this setup, and then you have us running around like it's very much like those games, and there's no any mount system. I mean, this you know, it's just one of those weird things that it's like, hey, WoW's been doing the zones and stuff like that for a while. Let's put one in like that, but we'll do it new Romulus. And then wonder why people don't like it when we have never had that in this game before. Heck, people in WoW don't even like running around all the time. Just ask a WoW player. All right, running. I don't get some of the map setups. I guess I'm just gonna have to go in. All right, looks like we all have. I think this was supposed to be. This was supposed to be a box to get you a environmental suit. It's not here. Given whatever. Some games work fine with Linux. I've noticed, especially you have wine. I'm assuming. Well, yeah. I get that armory. While yes, they are automatic EV suits. There are issues with them sometimes being automatic. Like this, okay, we have two people that have automatically put on an EV suit. Let me see who's my away team here. Oh wow. Hey, yeah, let's just forget. Why even bother putting traits and
back.
Well, welcome back. You've gotten to see me go, oh, why'd I even bother doing all this?
As it doesn't matter
I mean, not really.
Nothing ever matters to me. So I got to tell you a little story from this weekend.
Okay.
Which is why I wanted to know about the profanity. Because my sister went out of town to New Orleans and had some fun, you know. She's got 2 dogs and a bunch of cats. And she asked me to go over and spend some time with her dogs, you know, let them out and, you know, play with them and all that, rather than whoever was there was just there to be there for, you know, like an hour or so, you know?
Yeah.
So my car, as you know, is electric. So I go, okay, cool. It's not really a cost to do anything, you know? So I go all the way down. It's like a 100-mile trip, okay?
Okay.
Takes me about 2.5 hours to get there, you know? Because, you know, it's not all highway speeds, unfortunately. And I get there. And she says the back door should be unlocked.
Okay.
Keyword should. Because the stupid did not leave the key and did not leave the door unlocked. The other person had been watching the dogs. So there I am, 1 in the morning at her place, in the back, trying to get in. Thankfully, nobody called the cops. Or at least I wasn't there long enough to worry about it. Then I proceed another hour and a half, 2 hours to go back home. So it turned out to be about a 5.5 hour drive because I had to stop for power. All to
That's
take care of her.
unfortunate.
And she asked me today, because I was like, I'm tired. I didn't sleep much last night because I was wired on caffeine from the night before. Wonder why. And so she asked me today, could you pick up your niece and take her back to my place? Because she's coming home today. No, I'm not safe to be on the road. I'm like, I really didn't want to do another 5-hour drive.
Yeah. I mean, 5 hours driving sucks. I don't care who you are.
Yeah. Coupled with the extra factor that when you're driving, you know, in an electric car, you got to stop more often. And stop for like 20, you know, to 45 minutes.
Oh? Why do you have to stop more often?
To charge up.
I guess what's the range on your vehicle?
The range, if I had a full battery, would probably be about 200 to 250 miles. I've got 88% of the battery because, you know, it's safer right now. It's the recall. So I get about 180 miles, roughly. So, you know, there's a charging station about 20 miles from her place. So when I go there, I stop there and charge up.
Okay.
And it takes about 30 to 40 minutes to go from like a 30, 40, you know, or so percent charge to, you know, 80%.
Hey, have a good one, Armory.
It's just one of those. Brrr.
Yeah. I just noticed on my map I may have missed something, which it sucks. I might have to go back. And I'm like, do I want to go back now, or do I want to, like, I don't know, see if it's just like an errant thing, and I don't really have to go back. Because I remember some misleading markers, if I remember correctly, for this mission. Oh, I should have went down the other tunnel first, because this will be the next stage. The drawback to non-linear maps, or maps that, oh hey, you've triggered this. Now you can go into the next area. You know, you have to go back a little bit, but you have to. Come on, fire already.
Pew 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 pew.
Well, I'm having a misfire issue. It's one of the older features. And if you don't know what I mean by a misfire, so you can hit an ability, and sometimes it will go on the cooldown and not trigger. So that is what is called a misfire. Yeah. I'm sure you've seen it.
Yep. So Trinket, my cat that I've been playing meowing,
Yeah.
she found a toy of socks that I got from work. I was like, okay. Anyway, I tied two of them together for her and her siblings back in the day, so that way, you know, I could throw something around for them to play with. And she brings it into my office yesterday or not the office, the computer room from the office. So I'm like, okay, you want to play? I see. It's just, you know, such an old thing and dragged all the way across the house.
But I want to play.
Yeah, I'm playing with her now. So she's gotten better on not attacking a hand for petting, but I'm trying to teach her about, you know, what appropriate play is.
Yeah. Oh, hey, so someone got a new shift.
What?
Oh, how the game always is like, Oh, someone just acquired a sarcophagus dreadnought carrier T6. I'm like,
You can turn that off very easily.
I know. I can't remember what. Well, there's some parts of that message because there's more tied to the message that it comes with. Let me see here, or maybe they've broken it apart. Because I think it's just the system message.
Yeah.
That's also what tells you when you've had an error sometimes. So that's why I've left it on in one channel.
Sucks for them to combine something proper and essential and non-essential, that the essential gets ignored.
Yeah. Well, here, I'm going to create a separate channel or separate window. Oh, hey, I found out a whole new. Hey, don't want help pop-ups. Okay, yeah. Queue feedback, yeah, mail, friends on off, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Gameplay announcements. Don't want the fly-in. At least there's that. Okay, so normally what I do, add a new window. I normally call the new window something like fleet. And then I get rid of everything that I don't care about any of no system messages. I don't care about the rewards notifications. I just really want it to be about the chats that I want to like team chats and tells and officer chat and fleet chat, friends. I don't even care about local.
I've got chat, fleet, group. And I think I've got friends over in all of them.
There we go. I leave the rewards on so then I can look to see what I picked up. Sometimes. I get rid of the system messages because I get tired of seeing that.
I don't blame you.
Because I don't care that someone picked up a whatever ship. I mean, grats on them. That's cool. It's just unnecessary information.
It's advertising to make you think, oh, I need to get a new ship.
Well, one time when I actually put some money into lockboxes, keys, and stuff, I ended up getting a ship. And so immediately, as soon as you get that notification out there, people start whispering you, hey, you want to trade? I got this other ship. You want to trade, buddy? Hey, oh, I'll give you 100 million credits. Or I'll give you 500 million credit, whatever they're offering. And yeah, I'm just like, I don't need that. Don't need all of that. I guess it's good that I don't play the lockbox game because I don't need to see all of that. or I don't need to be pestered. That's the thing. If I was like, oh hey, I just got this, someone want to take it off my hands? Sure, great. However, messaging people that, hey, I see you got a ship, you want to give it to me? Or you want to trade or whatever?
Yep. So do you play the lottery at all?
Real lottery or lockbox lottery?
Real.
Not really. Maybe once in a super great while might buy a ticket or some type. But I know going in that odds are against me, you know.
Yeah. I go in thinking, oh, this is a nice fantasy to have if I won. So I go and buy every few weeks a couple tickets. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll get something. Today I go to, because I'll sit on for like 2 weeks after the drawings. I go in and I was like, oh, okay, I won $8. Okay, that's about the most I've ever won.
I've won enough to get more tickets normally, which doesn't really. I guess I can't say that. One time I did win enough for, well, now this sounds like a lot, gas for moving when I moved out here. Like I said, now it sounds like a lot, but I'll be honest, at the time it was only like 20 or 30 bucks. Actually, it probably was more than that, because moving from Indiana to PA, gas was a bit pricier. Well, just for the amount of driving.
So I reset my trip counter, you know, right before I did the travel yesterday.
Yeah.
And remembering I have an electric car. And I looked up, I had about 1,800 miles on that trip near the counter. And I looked up, and it's like, okay, at about 15 cents a kilowatt hour or something like that, how much did I spend on this amount of mileage? And it's like 56, 60 bucks, you know?
Yeah.
Not bad, considering it would have cost like $400 or $500 in regular gas.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, cool. I did decent.
I just wish, I don't know. Essentially, no matter what happens, I can't afford to heat my house at the way things are. So, either A, we're trying to move, make it someone else's problem. But let's see. Leave me alone. So, because like the house uses heating oil. It has gone higher than gas prices.
Yep.
Which is not, it's never been that way. It was always lower, below gas prices. And now it's at a point that I just can't afford to, I can't afford to heat the house. It's just that simple. On average, in winter on the colder months, 100 gallons to heat the house for a month.
Sounds about right.
At $5 and $6 a gallon, can't do it.
Here in Nashville, we don't have as severe winter as others. So our cost of heating is much lower because we can use heat pumps.
New readings have been detected in the underground ruins on New Romulus.
And if you know anything about heat pumps, up to a certain point, you get about 4 times
I received your signal.
the
Thank
heat
you for calling us
versus
down.
the energy you
I
put
need
into doing it, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like uber efficient.
That is why some areas banned them.
Banning efficiency?
Back in the day, yeah, they did. I wish I was joking.
Because I get to pay less than you?
Well, when you have the natural gas cartels and the coal cartels and the, I know they're not cartels, but I get my
No,
point.
They are. Call them what they are. They are cartels.
And the heating oil, you know, yeah, they all, back in the heyday, when all those were, I guess, less concerned about the environment, it was, yeah. Why does this say? Oh, I guess I might actually be done. Sure, I'll exit. Why not? But yeah, in some areas they push to ban heat pumps because of their efficiency. It sounds crazy, but in some places, I don't know if it ever passed, but yeah. It is also why here there was a bill not too long ago trying to basically force nuclear power plants shutting down, force them to shut down, because natural gas wants to take the place of all the power that they were eating up. And so the natural gas lobbyists had pushed and lobbied to try to get 3 Mile Island and all the other nuclear power plants, I guess, deregulated, defunded. Yeah, defunded would probably be the best way to put it. And I'm just like, so you guys are that petty that you, whatever. I mean, I get it's their livelihood and yada yada, but whatever.
I'm sorry, but they're just transition to the new stuff, friend. You'll be better off for everyone in the long run, and you'll be making more money. Or do you not care for humanity? You know, it's like,
yeah, well, yeah, like I said, I don't know what to say about it, because I can get upset, I can write letters, I can sign petitions, I can do what I can do, but outside of that, they don't give a shit what I say.
yeah, that's the problem. Let's just say, I don't have the answer, okay? But don't give me the powers of Superman, because there will be problems. Okay? There will be politicians that don't exist anymore. If you catch my drift.
Yeah, I mean, I won't go there because depending upon who's listening, yeah, you know, since we're still alive here, um, I'm all for moving forward, going greener. I'm against forcing people with no path forward to just make the change and suck it up and pay for it out of their own pocket easily. With heating, this is why, because this winter, heating oil prices are at a point. There were already people that couldn't pay to heat their homes before. This winter, that number is going to greatly increase on how many people cannot afford to have heat in their own homes. And it's not because they don't want to get off of heating oil. It's because they can't afford a new furnace to get off of heating oil.
Understood. And that's where I'm like, that's where it shouldn't cost.
Have a governmental deal to help me get off of a heating oil furnace, a fossil fuel furnace. Like, give me some kind of rebate or whatever. You know, they've done it in the past for stuff like that. Given people like discounts, rebates through the government to help you. Like there was I know it for a while, depending upon your state, some states you could get solar panels for your home for pretty much free through a government program. If you lived in a certain region and had enough sunlight to do so. Though I think some people are trying to expand that out. Which
it's
is
a good thing to expand if it's usable.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand if it's like, hey, not usable, it's not viable, you know, or if it's not getting a certain return. But I really think we need to be pushing more and more and more into renewables.
Well, that's why, in my opinion, they should give so someone in my situation, let's say they have a rebate program or something to that effect that I could buy a furnace that maybe it runs on electric that would instead, something that I could buy that would just switch it over to electric, which means then, yeah, sure, it's going to cost me more electricity wise, but then I'm not using the fossil fuel. I no longer I'm no longer part of the negative factor on the carbon emissions and stuff like that. I'm now we need to, then it becomes the power plants, which technically the way PA rolls, I can pick who my provider is and how much renewable energy they provide. It has to be disclosed so that way when I'm picking them, I know what I'm picking from.
Yeah. Here's my thought process in what I understand. Okay. Furnaces like yours burning oil. Fine, you get a huge amount of, efficiency, and normally it's cost effective to a point. Now, for me, when I'm able to use the system outside, I get 400%, efficiency, super high, return on the power. Okay, But in the winter, when it's like, hey, it's too cold out there for that, well, guess what? I'm still getting 100% efficiency from a direct electric heater. Okay? Make sense?
Yeah.
And it's a situation where I've taken the system, the pollutants, taken it from a personal pollutant system where it's like, hey, I'm burning from here, and it may be, let's say, I don't know what it is, but let's say it's X percentage. Okay? So, yeah, I've got pollutants here heating my home. Cool. Whereas in a power plant, you can have X percentage plus more efficiency because they can really tune it in good. Make sense?
There's that, and also when I burn heating oil here in my home, I'm not going to install the industrial scrubber systems that they are required to via EPA and whatnot to prevent carbon emissions.
Exactly.
So,
And that's also why I prefer my electric car. It's like the same reason. I could have my car here burning gas, which is super expensive and doesn't get anywhere near a good efficiency, or I could burn it at a power plant, which gets super efficiency and is able to do so much more for the environment to minimize. So the damage is orders less. Which would you rather do? Full damage or minimal damage? Because you're not going to give up your driving. You're not going to give up your heating, right?
yeah.
So, it's one of those where had we been pushing this proper from the get-go, where would we be? Have we made this a American thing that's, American to be on the tip of technology and make sure that, you're not supporting old wasteful things that, nuclear power plants. Our American power plants don't have the problems that those Ruskies have, back in the day. Oh yeah, it's nuclear, but we make sure it's safe.
Nuclear power can be safe.
Yeah, if it's one, you got to make sure you follow all the rules, which, they want to cut out, but it needs to be.
Well, the reason it can because there was a lot going on with if you want to refer to Chernobyl, because the reason that failed is because someone decided, hey, we want to run a special test while you're shutting it down. We want you to run this test. We want to see how much amperage, how much power you can cook out of that reactor as it's shutting down. To do that, though, you're going to have to shut off a lot of safeties. And that was the problem. There are safeties there for a reason. It's fine. It'll be. I'm sure everyone there. Yeah, that was a mess. Anyway, 3 Mile Island. I think they learned more about what safeties were needed. And I think today we are a lot better on our safety systems. So I think more has been learned about the Japanese reactor that, if you talk to Japan, didn't do too bad. It's fine. It'll be fine, I think is what they say. Even though they had to evacuate a massive area.
Yeah, it still was a huge disaster.
Yeah, I'm like, And we're like, we'll come and help. And they're like, no, it's fine. It's fine. Clearly, it's not fine. I think that was Fukushima.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I look at it like this, to a great degree. Nuclear power gives us such a... If you took a power per kilogram or something, power per unit of thing used, you would have to have such a long sheet. You'd have natural gas at a certain on the first sheet. Coal, hydro, solar, wind, all on the first sheet fitting. Okay. Nuclear would be 7, 10, 20 sheets or more later, going straight up, which tells you that it is so much more efficient.
Yeah.
And as I understand, we had thorium reactors, which are a lot safer to use, but they use molten salt for some reason. I don't understand all of it, so I just know it was supposed to be a lot safer, and if a fail would have have a lot less trouble. The problem is it didn't make nukes. It didn't make nuclear bombs, so it was shelved.
Yeah. So. Yeah. There's still even new and more technology moving forward. Like I keep seeing that that they're moving forward on doing what is it? I always get it turned around between fission and fusion.
Fusion is basically using water, or hydrogen, and fission is breaking, existing stuff up.
Yeah, well, I keep hearing how that they're getting closer to actually having a working fusion reactor.
Well, here's the interesting thing, and people don't understand. They have working reactors, okay? They can do fusion. It's not an impossibility. In fact, with a couple $1,000s worth of parts, you could make a fusion reactor in your home. Okay.
Okay, I guess an efficient one that doesn't take more power than it produces.
That's the problem that they're having, is that to run the reactor right now, it is power negative. They're not power positive. They are not even power even yet.
Welcome to the...
They can run it for a good while, where it's like it'll last a while, but it's not power positive enough to, refire or something. If they could do that, once they get that, it will take off.
Admiral Tuvok has...
In news today, or maybe I don't know if it happened exactly today, but I saw it today for the first time. Japan is going to take advantage of something that they have great abundance of around them. The massive deep sea currents that flow right by their island nation. I'm like going, if you're surrounded by water like that, that makes a heck of a lot of sense. They have created these massive turbine systems that in higher currents in the ocean aren't strong enough to push. But being down deeper, they have a lot more oomph to them, and they'll be able to push these giant turbines that they predict that with what they have planned, they will be able to get 200 gigawatts of power just from the deep sea currents.
Not bad.
For now,
Which, for those that don't know, is at their present 60% of the entire Japan island's power usage. So That's pretty impressive.
We need to find out. There's something interesting.
The thing I would wonder, though, when you're doing that, is how does it affect the ecology and such?
Yeah. I'd be curious on all kinds of aspects about, yeah. I just would be, I'd be curious on how it would all will it slow down those deep sea currents enough that it could screw up the deep sea currents? And then if it does, will that change? How much will that change the globe potentially? Because if, let's say, it slows it down, does that mean now warmer water or not warm, or the, I'm not sure what the temperature of that water, if it's pushing warm water in a certain direction, is it now mean that certain areas are going to get colder?
Yep.
I mean, maybe they've thought all about it. I don't know. I hope it works out for the best, because it sounds cool. It sounds hopeful.
But we never know.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I say unfortunately, I had an engineering ethics class when I was in school, and one of the things are like, so something, whenever you solve a problem, you should always be looking to see what's like, yes, you have a solution. Well, what's the new problem that you may have just created? What did what is this what is this going to do to the environment around it? And then we started working on cars. Like, we started talking about the cars. Like, look at, if they would have maybe thought about cars and what that did around them, environmentally, if they would have thought about the environmental impact, once you have millions of these cars on the road, would we still have them today? I mean, it does solve a problem of us getting from point A to point B. Now, maybe we would have thought of, instead of an internal combustion engine, maybe an electric one or some other engine type would have come up quicker.
The thing is that some of the first cars were electric. The problem was range.
Yeah.
And gasoline provided huge range. And it was a byproduct of making kerosene. And kerosene was used for lighting. So if it's a byproduct, hey, we're making it anyways because everybody's got to have light.
Yeah. Here is something I'm surprised we haven't seen. And it's basically, I know how the train industry, they use electric motors. Now, yes, they have diesel engines in them too, but they are diesel generators.
I know where you're going with this. And there is one person I've been seeing on TikTok that has put one of those, extreme efficient generators into a semi-truck, and they're working to get parts, and everything set up.
I mean, because if you think about it,
Yep.
If you have an efficient generator, and the way that the generators work, they work pretty much at a constant level. Yeah, sure, if you can try to pull the max out of them, and they'll start loading down, but it takes a lot to get to that point. And if you design a generator to be efficient, to provide X amount of power consistently over time, yes, you can have batteries in there to help add a buffer. Yeah, and then you can also have, with electric engine, there's so much, yeah.
The efficiency of using an electric engine and that sort of thing for long-term hauling, where you can tune to be constant power.
Greetings.
is
What else do you
should
need
have
to
been
know?
a get-go. The problem is cost.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because like the reason whole trains have them is because
My
like
mind
it's
is your
so much
mind.
more efficient for them to
Your thoughts.
run.
My thoughts.
Yeah, they can run how many miles before they really have to worry about fuel again? I mean, they yeah. I'm not sure what
It's
the
a
range. I was like, I think it's in the thousand, like over 1,000 miles that they go before they have fuel issues. I know somewhere I could probably pull that data up, but
well, I look at it, it's like doing trains is one of the better ideas, you know? It's like, yeah, it gets there from point A to point B. Might not be the fastest, but it's reliable and it gets there. And its efficiency is higher.
Please state that. Don't be. You're
yeah.
not.
Well, and that's why some people have tried proposing in between, like replacing the highway system with a another method. Like you put your car on this, and then it would take you to from point A, like long haul point A to point B. You wouldn't have to technically drive it.
Mm-hmm.
The mind meld was successful.
I don't know. It's just one of those things that I'm like, could be.
As I understand, they do that.
The mind. No.
There are trains that will do that now.
Good. Now we will be able to remain in contact.
Yeah.
Proceed to engineering.
It's just our I don't know. We never seem to be. I was like, we beat the U.S. I don't know that it seems like everyone. Oh, we have to be fully 100 independent. I want to be able to be completely independent to walk to this, that, or drive myself here, there, and the other. Like, you know, maybe it's not bad to pool together to, you know.
What do you do? I've almost been lost. You are.
I don't know.
Destroy you.
Well, it's
And
like,
Tuvok's
I
mind with you.
think there should be an option to travel far and not have a huge cost.
Yeah.
Go through stuff.
I'm in
Has raised
control here.
defenses to protect himself. Use one of the engineering
Oh, you're
consoles
doing
to
the
press your attack.
Tuvok one, aren't you?
Yeah, Mindscape.
Yep.
Just
I had this idea that at a certain point in the world
Has
of
raised
sustain,
defenses to protect
okay?
himself. Use one of the engineering consoles to press your attack.
If I worked, you know, X amount to do everything by myself. Now we're not talking using tools. We're talking,
Use
you
the
know,
controls to restore the work
planting and
This will
hunting,
strengthen my mental
okay,
defenses.
or in gathering to sustain myself. Make sense?
Excellent. With
Okay.
my mental defenses.
So we're going to call that the base, you know, amount of energy or, you know, human time to survive. All right. So we're talking the base amount, and we'll say
Move
over a
from
year
cortex
it's
to your-
X amount of thing. Okay. Now, adding in tools just increases that efficiency, right? A hoe will allow you to, you know, plant stuff better.
Seven.
A bow and arrow will allow you to hunt better, and baskets
That
and
is Borg
other things will allow you to
but the
gather
presence of the
better, right?
collective will not dissuade us.
Yeah.
Assimilation is irrelevant.
And multiply that by things. I'm of the opinion that the amount of labor it takes for a person to earn enough to have food, shelter, medical,
Assimilated Undine. They may be a reflection of the unconscious fears of
education.
species 8472.
We have surpassed so far into that it's stupid we're not doing that. Because that should be coming out of the first bit of any potential, is helping the community. Okay? And the community is the planet. Make sense?
Oh,
Yeah.
you're here.
So at the point, we could probably, and I don't know the number, but let's just say to keep the business, keep everything running at the minimum, so that people have food, shelter, medical, and the access to education, and everything needed to do just that, and put it at its bare minimums. We're not talking any capitalist system yet. We would have so few people working that people would be just out there bored.
You release 2.
I'm thinking orders of magnitude. We're talking probably 10, 20% of the society at the most. Make sense?
Here, we're this is not a political stream. We're not.
No, I'm trying not to get into politics. I'm not naming areas. I'm just talking in general, because I feel people should be taken care of. And then
With
the
Cooper,
ability to do stuff leads, to,
With Cooper-
oh, we can do all this extra stuff with our time, and, people getting paid decent and living and making better lives, making more efficiencies, putting, the environment first, making it so that we leave things better than what we had. I'm sorry if that's political, but I don't feel it should be.
I just know part of your thought process, and that's where I was trying to head you off before because I agree that I agree
you
that
should return to your ship.
people should want to work
While I am
together.
somewhat
People should try to work
confused as a
together.
result, we must
Try to make things better. Unfortunately, we have too many people. When you get humans involved in things, we have those that are just out to seek power, and yeah.
Yeah, no, completely understood that there are people
should
out there
use-
just wanting power, and it's not a good thing. But yeah. The idea for that in such came to the idea of, at some point,
Cooper is trying to block your progress. Look for another path.
all money is made up. There is no value to money. You know that, right?
Well, I mean, even gold doesn't technically have a value. It's only what you make it be, Because I was like, some people would argue well, yeah, that's because it's not on the gold standard anymore. I'm like, well,
Keep searching.
yes and no. Gold is technically a made-up value system as well.
Yes, Trinket, I know.
the one benefit to gold over, say, a dollar bill is it's historically been, because of its rarity of value.
Yeah.
I sense we are making progress. Keep searching.
Since we're
But
making
my
progress.
thought process was, if you put into the idea of what's the minimum for survivability, you get a cost, and at that point you can say things have a value. You put we make it's still fiat, but then we put it in, this is what it takes to survive.
Yeah. That's why when people are like make the argument of, oh, if we do this, it'll make everything better. I'm like, you do understand that the companies do not like to take up loss. So yes, we can force them to give better benefits or pay more money, but because they don't want a loss, that means they're going to cut people one way or the other, or they're going to, you know, well, either one cut how many people they are paying because they can't. They'll say they can't afford it, even though it really means they can't, or they are unwilling to take a profit loss from the previous year, or they'll just increase how much they charge for everything, or they'll do both.
Yeah, and that's where, you know, I'm trying to avoid getting too, you know, political really and cause you trouble, but
This ordeal is taxed. Please join me on.
that's where you say, yeah, guess what? You chose to do this, and you're failing. Goodbye.
Voyager will join you.
You know, a company needs to fail.
Yeah, I
This area of we must load.
Anyway, unfortunately, since we are not Star Trek or have the coolness of Star Trek, though I have heard people say that, oh, well, they don't have money in Star Trek. I'm like, actually, they do. It's just you've watched a show that's about the military side.
Military and Earth doesn't need the money.
Well, there's still money on Earth.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying there's still money, and you know, you got the military that provides for a lot of everything, but for the day-to-day, you know, living of average Joe, they don't need the money. It's what I was saying is, you don't live to work. You know, you live to experience and have fun and enjoy life, versus well, time to get up and do the
Time to make the donuts.
Yeah, because guess what? If I don't do it, I've got cats that aren't going to get fed, and if I don't do it, I won't be fed, and eventually I will die. So it's the idea of, yeah, you work to prevent death.
So if I put one singularity into another singularity, will that be like a bad thing?
This passage will work. Quickly, we must go through the portal.
Would that be like putting a bag of holding into a portable hole?
We need to reach Coop. This would explain. You've come along.
When two singularities collide, what happens? Fluidic space. Which looked very much like the quantum realm in
Ant-Man in the Marvel Universe.
yeah. It's fine. This came first, so they can't say. Oh, I guess technically the quantum realm was in the comics. I don't know if it was drawn as similar as this. I didn't read much Ant-Man comics. I read Spider-Man, and I did at the death of Superman read some of the Superman spin-offs that they had, but outside of that, I did not keep with Superman because I don't know. It didn't seem as... It's hard for me to see challenge for Superman other than his intelligence. He has every power that... Oh, hey, I have a power for that. I can just do this, and I defeated the enemy. The only reason he didn't think of it sooner is because apparently his intelligence is not as strong as it should be.
The command bioship is weakened. You must beam aboard and locate Cooper while it is possible.
I'm not faulting anyone for liking Superman. It just was... I struggled with that concept of every time he turned around, he had a new superpower that countered that problem. Just leave it to Batman, though, to figure out how to stop him. Kryptonite suit. I mean, Bruce Wayne would never do such a thing.
We are close to Cooper.
Alright, I think once I'm done with this mission, I might be done for the night. I don't know that I really got much work in what I was thinking about doing, because I just started running missions for completion's sake, I guess. I need to get the challenges done. I was hoping that I might see some other rewards coming from the missions to help me. Sadly, there hasn't been much good drop or choices. I did get some bridge officers, some new gear.
That's good.
But,
The muscles control...
muscles controlling that. I don't know. I just want sometimes when watching it or playing this, I just it reminds me of I don't know, Wayne's World, and that sphincter says what? Didn't say it was funny. Just, you know, that's what it reminded me of. Just all with the sound effects tonight.
Cooper should an intriguing...
Wow. That was fast.
Kaboom.
The ship is resisting the meld. I must move to another neural cluster. You must protect me from Undine attacks while I concentrate.
Yeah, I can't protect myself, Tuvok. If we want to be straight about this.
Protect me from Undine attacks
Yeah,
while
buddy, I
concentrate.
get it. I can't protect myself, so what do you... I'm about to die again.
The ship is resisting the meld. I must move to another neural cluster.
Hey, buddy, you're standing right next to me. Oh, good. I think it's over. That just...
What is happening? You did this.
My mind to your
Yeah,
mind.
he did it.
The bio-dreadnought has no intention of entering out.
There's...
Something to say, Trinket?
Trinket always has something to say.
There are no our.
All right, let me pick up my loot.
With Cooper gone,
Hopefully
we
something...
won't have a leader pushing
Oh boy,
them to
I get a
war
weapon.
with our forces.
Congratulations, General.
Our first task.
And I apparently have a new specialization point to spend. All right. Actually, I have, because I bought some R&D things, and also it looks like I unlocked some recruit universal tech upgrades. I know it's not an upgrade weekend, but holy crap, do I need to upgrade the shield that I am using for ground.
Cool.
I at least want to get it to Mark 15. I don't really care about the quality. Because that will help there just on my survivability. Oh, did I not? I forgot to claim it. Is this kit? No, it is one of the recommended decent kits.
Alright. Unfortunately, my brain is dying for the night. I will talk to you later, Green.
Okay, have a good night.
Bye.
Bye. I'm probably going to wrap up myself here. I was just looking at some upgrades before I moved on. All right. Since I can't claim anything there, I guess that's all I can do here. Okay. So, let's see who's streaming. Who's streaming right now? Let me pull up who is streaming. Who do I know is streaming? Um, do that. Let's go. As mentioned before. Okay, let me get this. I'm going to send you all over to Scorpona, which Scorpona is probably running around on inside the Dyson Sphere battleground on the ground. Let's see. Nom nom nom. May 3rd. No. Looks like they are. Might be doing endeavors. They're doing. It looks like they're doing the Tholian. Oh yeah, Tholian captain on new card defeated. So they're doing Tholian TFO. So let's go ahead and send you all over that way. Say hi, cheer them on, and yeah. So, all right. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for the raid to Miari. Yeah, I appreciate everything everyone did for me. Thanks for the bits tonight. I think goofball, all the stuff going on. Yeah. It was a great night. Thank you all for helping it make it a great night. So, all right, here we go.